Hey, what's up, blues fans? This is John, and here's your Tuesday Blues, lesson number 58. In this lesson, we're going to tune our guitar to drop D, which is an ultra cool bluesy key, especially for us finger pickers. Now, I used to think this was for rock and metalheads and things like that, but it turns out a ton of old great blues songs like Statesboro Blues by Blind Willie McTell, to name one, really relied heavily on this key and on this tuning. And the reason is that when you tune your guitar, you tune your 6th string down to a D, it opens up playing a nice steady bass with your thumb while staying in the key of D. Now, I'm going to show you a few different places on the neck to play D chords and D7 chords as kind of a beginning point of our study of what you can do in drop D for fingerpicking blues. I think you're really going to dig this, so stay tuned. The first thing that we want to do is get into drop D tuning, and what we're going to do is just detune our 6th string down from E down one whole step to, you guessed it, D, and all the other strings stay the same. So really we're just going to strike the 6th string and the 4th string. That's going to be our reference pitch. It's already a D, and we just want to make these two match. Alright, and once you've got that, you're officially in drop D tuning. And one thing that you can do as a finger picker to really make use of this is get this alternating bass going between the 6th and the 4th string, just pedaling back and forth between those two. Then we're going to start taking a look at some of these chords that you can play in various positions around the neck. Now, we'll talk about the first two pretty quickly since they're some of your more basic chords. The first being a regular D major chord played right here in kind of cowboy chord position. And then the second is your basic D7 chord here. And one thing that I like to do a lot when I'm finger picking some blues in drop D is I'll hold the D7 shape and I'll make use of this pinky kind of hanging out, not doing anything, by picking up and putting it down in some sort of, you know, melody on the 3rd fret. So really what you have there is a D7, D major, 7, major. You know, so something like that. It adds a little bit of variety even to these basic regular chords. But let's keep moving up the fretboard and we'll find some other chords, really variations of these chords. So we've got our D7, D, and we've got another D7 right here around the 3rd and the 5th frets. And this is kind of a cool spot. So what I'm doing there is on the top 3 strings, the frets are 3rd string, 5th fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, and then the 5th fret again on the 1st string. Alright, so that's a pretty cool and useful D7. This next spot is probably my favorite D7 here. And it is barring across the top 3 strings at the 5th fret, but then you're going to put your ring finger down on the 7th fret of the 2nd string to get this. It's definitely got that D7 quality, and the reason that I love this so much is that that pinky is free and available to do some cool melody work here and the little mini licks, something maybe like this. You know, really just moving that thing around. I'm holding the chord position and just moving my pinky along the 1st string from the 7th fret to the 8th fret and maybe back, you know, whatever feels good. But the point really is that it's a pretty useful spot for finger pickers, because anytime you've got a free finger to do some lick work, that's like heaven for a finger picker, right? So another chord that's right here in this area is actually another version of the D major, and that is here. So top 3 strings again, and the frets are 7, 7, and 5. And you can do that same pinky trick if you fret it up like this with the D major in mind. Alright, and then the next chord that we have moving up the neck is a D7, and we're going to bar across the top 3 strings at the 7th fret, and then place the place your middle finger, in this case, on the 8th fret of the 1st string. So you get that. And this really should look somewhat familiar to you, because we've got that kind of movable shape that comes from the A7 chord here. We usually play more of a full version, but really if you just look at the top 3 strings, you got this: A7, B7, C7, D7. Alright, and then the last chord that we're going to run into is a D chord up here, around the 11th and 10th frets. So I'm barring across the top 2 strings with my first finger at the 10th fret, and then my middle finger is hitting the 11th fret on the 3rd string. So again, a quick recap: we've got D7, D major, D7, D7, D, D7, and then finally D. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this lesson on getting started with drop D tuning and then picking up those chord shapes for D and D7 that are ultra useful for us finger pickers. If you want to grab the tab for this lesson, sign up as a BGI member. It's completely free, and anytime you're logged into the site, you'll see the tab available right under the video lesson. So head on over to bluesguitarinstitute.com/join and sign up if you haven't done it already. Alright, thanks a ton, and I'll see you in the next lesson.